Next witness. Yes, sir.
Judge, we call him Don Mays.
Don Mays. Mr. Mays, if you'll come all the way up to the front for me, please, sir. And if you'll raise your right hand, the clerk will administer the oath.
We selected him, and we had a fairly long project up here.
Okay, and what was that project for?
It was working for the Naval Air Station. It was software development.
Okay, and are you in that line of work?
I am.
And obviously he was in that line of work?
He absolutely was.
Okay. And how long did you guys work together on the Navy base on this contract?
I think it was approximately 2 years.
Okay. And did you guys both live up here in Jacksonville?
We stayed up here during the week. We normally would come up Sunday night and either leave Thursday night or Friday.
Okay, when you said we, did you actually travel in the same vehicle with Michael Dunn?
Sometimes, most of the time, not. But every now and then, just depending on the logistics of the week.
Okay. And where did you live at the time?
I lived in Satellite Beach, Florida.
And do you know where Mr. Dunn lived?
He lived in Port St. Lucie.
Okay. And that somewhat close together, was that fair?
Yeah, about 60 miles distant.
And if he went north, he would actually drive past you at Satellite Beach?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys would carpool at times?
Yes, we would.
And did you develop a friendship through your work environment?
We did.
Okay. Through those 2 years, did you become good friends?
Yes, we became good friends.
Okay. And you basically worked daily together while you were here in Jacksonville on the Navy contract?
Yes, we worked in the same queue back to back.
Okay. And did you go flying with him?
I flew with Mike, yes.
Okay. And how often or how long did you work with Michael Dunn?
How long? Well, the 2 years. We became friends, so we stayed in contact, not everyday contact because our jobs had us going different places, but then we worked again, somewhat recently together.
Okay. And when was that? When did you start working again with him?
I would say back in somewhere in 2011.
Okay. And how long did you work with him since 2011? Once that started?
For a couple of years, 2 years.
It was full-time positions together?
We were not working full-time positions together. We were working on the early learning system it was remote work in Tallahassee, early learning system in Tallahassee, but it was remote from Melbourne.
Okay. And did you guys travel together, do business together?
No, we did not. We just worked in the same project together.
Okay. And that was for several years?
2.
2 years? Okay. And in that, did you guys have to work with other people in your software networking community?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And how often or how many people?
There was probably 40 developers on that project.
Okay. And was it a pretty tight-knit group? I mean, you guys had to work very close together?
It was divided into sections depending on your specialty area. In our section, well, I was actually in a different section of the project from Mike, but I had worked in his section, so we were still all somewhat close.
Okay. And at that point, you're still not only work friends, but personal friends?
Yes, yes.
Were you close with Mr. Dunn?
Yes, I was.
Friend?
Yes, definitely.
And how long have you worked with him since 2011, I believe? Was it just those 2 years?
Yes.
Okay. And in those 2 years with that group, did Mr. Dunn have a reputation for peacefulness among that group?
Oh, yes, he was a calming influence in that group.
Okay. Did anybody ever talk, without going into what they said, did anybody ever talk about him with you when he wasn't there?
Yes, of course. I mean, talked about him, that has negative connotations, but referred to him, yes. And
In a positive way?
oh, yes. Oh,
People
yes.
were friendly with Michael Dunn?
Yeah, they were friendly and all very positive because, like I said, I had moved from that group, even though I knew the guys in there, and we would communicate. And of course, they would, we talked about different people on the project, and Mike always came up and very positively.
Okay. And at some point, did Michael Dunn actually move up to Satellite Beach where you had lived?
Yes.
And then you guys still kept a close friendship even living in Satellite Beach together?
I had moved to Melbourne Beach, which is about 15 miles south by then. Well, I heard he was moving to Satellite, so I left.
And you guys are still, you said within 15 miles?
Yes.
Is that closer than Vero Beach?
Oh, yes, yes.
Did you see each other often at that point as personal friends?
We did.
Okay. Judge, I have nothing further.
Mr. Guy.
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The project in Jacksonville, that was a 2-year project?
I believe it is approximately 2
And
years.
you and the defendant were in Jacksonville about 5 days a week?
Yes, between 4 and 5, yes.
All right, and for a period of 2 years?
Approximately.
And the defendant lived at that time in Jacksonville on the south side of Jacksonville, right?
Yes.
And off a road called Southside Boulevard, right?
That sounds familiar.
That's correct?
Yes, I mean, that sounds, I don't remember exactly what his address was, but I knew he lived over in the South Side area.
And you believe it was off of Southside Boulevard?
Yes, sir.
All right. How often did you see that, and that was 1995, right? Through 97?
95, 97, 96, 98, but that time frame, yes.
Okay, when was it that you reconnected with him?
Well, we kept in loose contact all along after that project. And then we got really close again, probably in, I would say, 2010 or something. But we'd see each other maybe once every few months in that duration of years.
What you were referring to as the loose contact?
Yes.
You'd see him, so that was a period of maybe 15 years?
97 to 13, yes, I'd say about that, yes.
And again, how often would you see him then?
When we communicate through email, and we probably see each other every couple of months, if that.
All right. And then more recently, how often would you see him? Say since 2011 to 2012?
More often once a week, sometimes more.
All right, and you've never been in a situation with him where he was sitting next to someone listening to loud rap music from another vehicle, have you?
No, sir.
All right. And you were not at his son's wedding on November 23rd, 2012?
I was not, no.
You were not invited to that?
No.
All right. Thank you, sir.
May he be excused? Yes?
Had you ever met his son?
Microphone.
Had you ever met his son, Christopher Dunn?
I don't believe I'd ever met his, I met different family members. I don't remember meeting his son.
Okay. Did you ever meet his ex-wife, Phyllis Molinaro?
Not Phyllis. I met a different ex-wife.
But not Phyllis.
No.
Did you meet anyone from the Molinaro family or Ann Austin, Phyllis's mom?
Not that I know of, no.
Nothing further, Judge.
May he be excused?
So excuse your honor.
Mr. Guy.
Sir, I'd ask that he be subject to recall.
All right, thank you, sir. We need you to stick around,
Yes, sir.
possibly for recall. Thank you, but you're free to go for now.